Can I preface it with what, sorry?
It is pretty hot.
It's hot and I'll be sweating buckets.
Well, you've just finished a workout, haven't you?
This is true.
And it is boiling in this room. There is no aircon. I have closed the blinds behind you so the sun's not hitting you.
How many sessions do we need to do before we can request that we have aircon in here?
I don't know, since it's already gone wrong with the sponsors, I
Oh God!
I don't think we have much leverage.
Connor's
I'm about to
making
really annoy the sponsors as well on next episode with the content.
controversial topics.
Yeah, no, it's not controversial whatsoever. It's called freedom of speech, sir, and also
Exercise your right, brother.
If somebody doesn't want to sponsor free speech, then I don't want to be involved anyway.
Oh my God!
This is the truth, bro. This is the truth. Can I do the intro to the podcast?
Please do, man. Hit it. Heavy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fit Talk Radio. We have no idea what episode number it is, do we?
As always, we're somewhere around 20.
Somewhere around 20.
Fit Talk Radio.
I am Connor Rhodes, your friendly neighbourhood nutritionist. I am joined by Master Trainer Will Hukin. And would you like to introduce your client and friend?
Hello, this is Arica. We go way back to the start
Arica
of this
with
year.
an A.
With an A.
With an A.
Very nice.
Straight out of Washington.
Washington State.
All the way over. You've been here about, what, 7 years, was it?
11.
11?
11 years.
11 years, okay.
11 years.
Fully colloquialised.
Not yet. I don't understand Yorkshire.
No,
Still don't understand Yorkshire.
We've been told to slow down, actually.
You don't understand what
told her
about
no.
Yorkshire, the accent or the puddings or the people?
No, you love the
or-
puddings.
I mean, no, puddings.
Protein puddings.
Protein puddings, yeah. But
Just take that microphone down a little bit for her. And then just
Yeah, go on.
clip it a couple of inches lower. There we go. So what don't you understand about Yorkshire, sorry?
your terms.
Terminology?
Yes.
Yeah,
vernacular, as you love
Yes.
to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
don't
is
get
some
it.
weird stuff going on, to be fair.
Like, misen.
Misen!
Oh,
Like
Misen.
what?
You sound Chinese when you say that.
Oh my
That
God.
sounds like a Chinese person when you say it.
It's really difficult, and I've not learned after 11 years.
Myself, isn't it?
Yes, it's myself.
It's myself. No.
What do you make of muffed at shops? Do you want out?
Yeah, I got that.
Mufta.
Muffed at shops?
Mufta.
Do you want
I
out?
heard muffin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Muffin shop, yeah.
Yep.
You
It
just
could have been.
just take some
Yeah.
letters
Yeah,
out.
but then you add letters sometimes.
Muffed
like,
at shop?
Yep. To.
Do you want out?
Yeah.
Yes. An oat.
Out makes perfect sense.
It doesn't.
Anything, yes.
Yeah.
Out.
No.
O-W-T.
Yorkshire's a very lazy dialect, essentially. It's a very lazy way of speaking. Any letters or syllables that we don't need get removed. Like the word the
Yes,
is completely
exactly.
removed. I'm going to shop. Not to the shop.
Just skipping letters as well. Like the T's in the word letter, I guess.
Yeah, we don't need
They don't
T's.
get
We don't
touched.
need the.
No.
It's because it's hard work to go. So we don't. We just completely leave it out.
Do you know what I've heard though?
What?
Is that I feel like I'm just calling you out now.
Go on then.
Apparently, from a muscular point of view, the American accent is one of the laziest. Apparently, Americans like
it.
Americans like in the back of the
You
throat.
don't like it? Why?
Don't know. if I hear an American here, sorry if you're American out there, but if I hear an
You don't have to
American,
preface that. You're fine.
I just cringe. And maybe it's because we have that reputation of being very loud and out there. So
Sure.
I just don't want to.
You're saying this in a very purposefully calm way as
I know.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Purposely going against the stereotype.
Yes. And
So what do you think to being an American, what do you think to our stereotypes of you and then what you notice like being over here? Like you're saying we think you're very loud.
I think that's just a general stereotype
Yeah.
Okay.
of Americans, and yeah, I don't want that put upon me. So
Would
I'm
you
like,
say anything
"Oh."
about us, English? Because I know you've said you don't necessarily want to go back and live in America.
Oh God, I'd
ever.
never live back there.
Yeah.
Never.
And mainly because of pew pew.
Yes. Pew pew pew.
Okay, so we're gun laws you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the lack thereof.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it's a bit of an issue.
It is a bit of an issue.
Interesting.
I don't
Definitely
like-
harder to stab someone than shoot them.
Exactly. You have to
Yeah.
get really close to stab someone, and I don't like.
I think
being
it's
close to
a
people,
cultural
so it's
thing
not
as well.
gonna-
Like if, like obviously, it's not, because obviously knives aren't allowed here, but because nothing's allowed here to like carry with, it just removes that immediate possibility of like that cultural, just like let's fight about it. Whereas in America, if you can just carry a gun always, that's crazy. That is crazy.
I can kind of see it from both perspectives. I don't really know what the best idea or answer to the situation is.
Well, they're not called defense rifles, are they? They're called assault rifles.
Oh
So-
my God!
And I feel like as well, like, how many school shootings does there need to be before something changes?
Kind of the only argument in it,
To be fair, that is true. Do we have 0 school shootings?
basically.
Do we? Are you?
But it's happened. But
In the past, yeah, but like
decades.
yearly, is it like,
Yeah.
No,
is it
not
like none?
0. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen.
No,
Yeah.
0.
So
But also it's it's a difficult situation, I imagine. Again, I'm not involved in the situation or knowledgeable for the Americans, because how can you get rid of the guns now? What are you going to do? Say to everyone, bring them in.
It'd crash the
People
economy.
are just not going to.
They had to pay everyone
They'll
for
say,
the guns.
okay, and some people will bring in 4, they've got 9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one's going to do that.
I forgot the number of guns to human ratio in America, but it's crazy.
I don't know.
It's more guns than
my
people.
dad's got a safe,
Yeah.
a big safe
Yeah.
full of guns. But he also lives on a ranch.
What
where
are
there's
the
bears
laws?
and things like that.
Are the laws the same everywhere in America, or is it some
I don't
states?
know.
What's it like in Washington?
I don't know.
The laws are not the same everywhere.
I don't think so. Everyone in my family carried when we all lived in Washington, except for me.
Except for you.
I've never held a gun.
Yeah, you said
It
you
freaks
never
me
shot
out.
a gun.
It freaks me out. But all my family know how to hunt. They go
See that?
shooting. They
But
carry.
we want to go for the bow and arrow.
I don't discriminate in forms of meat acquisition. I can
You do
go
love
bow.
the bow and arrow.
I can go bow, yeah. I couldn't shoot an animal with a bow, there's no way.
I floated the idea to Phil the other day of this area around the back, axe throwing,
Axe
Oh.
and he's into it.
Is he really?
Yes.
This is a health and safety hazard.
We
We've
can
got
make that
people
work.
launching axes around the back.
I'm
Oh,
s-
good,
if
yeah.
I will drop all of my clients and just run that. I'm sorry.
Even me?
I'll just throw axes all day. It'll be the best time.
It would have to be supervised. Someone would
By
have to
me,
be-
yeah.
We've got axe throwing at the back and kids' classes out the front.
Yeah.
Like, oh, great.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah, good.
fun for all the family.
Yeah, it'd be good, like dodging.
Wow.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge an axe.
Wow.
Right?
This is totally random, but you were going to ask a question about energy drinks, and I said,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
ask now, ask on the podcast. Now, it turns out we've all got a variety of energy drinks here. We've got Reigns. I've got Relentless, which somebody said, I was drinking one of these
what's
the other
that?
day. I was actually, it's just a different energy drink. It's the same. It's 0 sugar. These ones have actually got 50 calories in. I think these ones have got very close to 0 calories.
16.
16, yeah. This one's actually...
Yeah, but I wanted to see what you thought of the
Oh no,
rest
I'm
of
wrong
it.
actually. This one's 11. I've had a Relentless before that had about 50 calories, but this peach-flavoured one, which, do you know what I was doing with... Oh no, raspberry, sorry. You know what I was doing with this? I was mixing it with vodka and
Yeah.
having a great time. I would highly recommend this. But not if it's getting too late in the evening, because obviously it's highly caffeinated, but it
Yeah,
wasn't...
you're pulling yourself in different directions there.
I
You
can drink these at any time of the night and be fine.
But you've only recently stopped having 8 coffees a day.
This is true. With
Yeah.
4 sweeteners
Yeah.
in it.
I also like 3 or 4.
I know,
so
and
it
Yes.
represents
I hate you for it.
Why?
Because it's such a shit time.
One of the
It's a different drink. If you put 1 or 2 in a cuppa, it's just like a really sweet cuppa. But if you put 4 in, it starts being like
Yep.
some candy floss flavoured.
I also like loads of milk. I like loads of everything except water. I want loads of coffee, loads of milk, loads of
So you
sweetener.
want a latte with all the sweetener.
How good is this?
No.
Let's be. And you're right. Is it a different drink? Yes. Is that why I'm doing it? Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm doing it because I don't want your black bullshit.
Black bullshit.
Ugh. See, I'm on the black bullshit too.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Straight black coffee.
Black coffee.
4 sweeteners.
Oh, that's hardcore.
that
I
offends
respect
me
that
a
in a
bit.
completely different way.
Why does that offend you?
Especially in the morning as well. I couldn't.
Bitter and sweet. Here we go.
Yes.
I've never been a sweet tooth, and especially in the morning though. I can't get up and have like. Some people can go and have like crepes and.
This would be me.
Yeah, you are like this, yeah.
I'm not a breakfast person.
No.
No.
So if you remember, I don't know how many, 2 episodes ago or something, we were talking about Arica's like food log and weight loss and measurements of it all.
Oh, was this you?
This is me.
This episode's not being released yet, so you've
No.
not even seen my advice.
We spoke about it
That's good news.
greatly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we just everything the same, but we just clamped down more. So like you said, we just made sure. And you were recording everything, but it was the minutiae, wasn't it, kind of thing?
It's very easy to get wrong.
Yes.
So easy
Yeah.
to get wrong. There was a study on dietitians in the NHS, and they were asked to do calorie counting, and they were 300 to 500 calories per day wrong
Wow.
in their calorie counting estimations, and they're supposed to be professionals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
So now what then? What has the weight?
Well-
has the weight come down?
We've had 1 week worth of measuring. We're going to weigh again tomorrow.
Okay.
But it was £2 last week, was that
£2
right?
last week.
Let's go.
Yeah, so let's go.
Let's go. That's amazing.
So if this continues for another 2 weeks, we know we're on like a real solid little streak, and then we know everything's working.
yeah, perfect.
It's shred season,
Yes.
baby.
Yeah,
Yes.
perfect. So, would you like some advice on this situation?
Yes, go for
Is
it.
that okay?
Mate, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
That's why we're here.
You know what calories are, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah. If the weight doesn't come down, then it's always because, in the long term anyway, if the weight doesn't come down, it's because the calorie intake is not correct in some way. Even if you think it is, or you think it is, or I think it is, or an app says it is, it's all wrong. Because if the weight's not coming down, then obviously the deficit's not being created.
It's kind of a cause and effect type thing.
It's literally, it's direct, but the weight can stall for up to 3 weeks at any time. So you kind of always have to wait 3 weeks to be able to tell, because it could be water retention, could be a menstrual cycle, you could be bloated, it could be the calorie deficit building up in the background, and yes, you're losing fat, but it's not showing up as weight loss on the scale yet, which is a real thing. So I always teach people that after one weight drop, you need to wait between 3 and 23 days-ish for the next one to come.
Okay.
And that's not like, oh yeah, I'm eating well sometimes, and oh yeah, no, it's this of good deficit, good eating, correct calories every day. It's going to take between 3 and 23 days, some unknown number. Usually it's 10 or less. Like most weeks, people will lose weight, but some weeks it just won't go down.
Yeah.
You know, even if your food's perfect, you know, the calories are right, the walking's right, the training, it just won't go down. And it'll either be water retention or it's just not, the fat loss is happening daily when the deficit is being created. It's just not showing on the scale yet.
Right.
So now you've had one weight drop. You might get another weight drop this week. Probably, yeah. There's like, I'd say 75% possibility. But there's also some percentage possibility that it might just take until the week after. Or, and when it gets to 3 weeks, every day that it gets past 3 weeks, the probability the calories are wrong is approaching 100%.
Yeah.
If it gets to 4 weeks
And
nothing's happened, there's no water retention, not unless you've got some real medical issue going on.
No.
That's giving you like...
But again, like we were saying, even then, it might make life harder and a bit more specific, but it just circles back to the same answer of just less calories.
Yeah, so whatever the calories are, it doesn't matter what an app says or what you think you're eating or anything like this, it needs to be reduced more because no deficit's being created, otherwise why is the weight not coming off then?
So I think that's something we've been focusing on, like
Definitely.
making sure we're aware of that so we don't get upset.
So I only explain this so that if you're ever losing weight and the weight doesn't go down, you know what to do.
That's really helpful.
If it's been less than 3 weeks, the answer is patience, we don't know yet. If it gets past 3 weeks, then you don't have to think, oh, everything's going wrong. No, only one thing's going wrong. The calories are just not low enough. So then you don't get down about it, get inquisitive about it, start looking why. If we think they're down but they're not,
That's a nice way to put
something's
that.
going
That is a
wrong.
really good way to put
I'm
it.
like, this is big part of my job is I'm like calorie detective. Literally. Like I have to look through people's food diaries and people's habits and ask them questions because people come to me every day.
couldn't do it, man.
Oh, I'm
I don't know how you
eating
do it.
really well, but the weight's not going down. Why? Well, I don't know why, because we only met 4 seconds ago. You know, so I have to start investigating. So I'm like, do you have food diaries? Do you know what your step count is? Can you talk to me about what you eat? Then I start asking questions about, you know, about the minutia.
Yeah.
Like you said, people tell me about the meals that they eat, and then I say, okay, but what about takeaways? What about restaurants? What about snacks? What about alcohol? What about bits you steal off your children's plates? What about drinks like this that you're not accounting for? What about, you know, what about?
Just annoying people.
Do you know, I'm inquiring, sir. Inquiring diligently,
Yeah.
perspicaciously.
Oh, good.
Some might say.
That's a great word.
It means to
I think I know this one.
have knowledge in something.
Yeah.
basically. It means to just.
No.
It means to have in-depth knowledge about something, or to understand something that's a bit of a mystery.
Yeah.
That kind of. Let's Google it.
Google to the... This is quickly becoming the Google podcast.
Let's Google it. Oh, that's news of the week coming up for next episode.
Oh.
I've found some good news articles, surprisingly.
I'm excited.
We do,
do you know
we do
what
news
I
of the
found?
week, and the news is god awful, isn't it? How
I found none.
boring it. I don't know. Well,
Sticking to the tradition.
sticking to the tradition.
I don't know. I don't think we discussed it. Oh no, we didn't. Yeah, that's on me. Yeah, I'm just being stupid.
We have another
What we
guest
got?
coming next time who I guess is also going to have brought no news.
Who's that? Oh, Rebecca. No.
Rebecca.
Yeah. I see what you mean. What's this word then? Go on.
Well, I'm struggling to spell it, even though I can say it.
Was it perspicacious? Was that it? What was it?
Perspicaciously.
Oh, I
It means
thought it was-
having or showing keen understanding. I believe there's a part of the definition as well. It's kind of got like a connotation of if something's usually a bit mysterious or unknown, but you have
Okay.
knowledge into it.
I thought it was something to do with it also being a bit. Some word that sounds similar.
Persnickety.
Persnickety.
That's a good word.
Sure, let's go with that.
What does that mean specifically?
Oh, we got-
How do you even spell that? I've spelled it perfectly.
Yes.
It sounds exactly. It's spelled
That's
exactly
a
like
God-given
it sounds.
word.
Persnickety.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
ready?
a word. I don't
Ready?
know what it means.
Ready?
Persnickety.
Persnickety.
And this means.
Persnickety.
Placing too much emphasis on trivial or minor details, also known as being fussy.
Oh, so don't be persnickety.
Oh. Can we use it in a sentence, please? Requiring a particular, precise, or careful approach. Oh no, I'm reading the wrong thing. Wait, that's how it's used as an adjective. It's hard to find a film more persnickety and difficult to use than black and white infrared.
Hey, he's not wrong.
I mean, it's not wrong, but that's also some bullshit if I've ever heard it. That's just so boring.
Speaking on photography stuff, Arica's nice. No, I was going to say gifted, but we've done a deal, and she's given me a camera.
Oh,
I've got a digital camera now. I'm well excited.
very nice.
I'm the old school film boy.
I don't even know what it is, like what kind it is.
It's a DSLR, is what they call them. Digital lens. DUS. Digital single lens reflex camera, something like
Is that
that.
what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Very
That's
smart.
exciting.
I know.
Excited for
And
you.
you've gained 2 extra sessions out of
I
it.
have. It's a great deal.
So Arica sees me 3 times a week. She's the hardest chorist of the hardest chorist.
And you do train hard. I've seen you working hard.
Ooh, thank you.
Every single time you're in the gym.
Yep. Yeah, you're one of the most consistent for effort level. It's very appreciated.
Thanks.
How have you found, because
I've been on a journey.
you've been on a journey and you've never really been in a gym before this.
No.
So
No,
tell us about that.
never been in a gym. I'd signed up to gyms before, like when I lived in
One
the
of those
States.
people, yeah.
Signed up, never went. And then came here and gym just wasn't on my radar. I was trying to keep up with your guys' drinking culture.
Oh, good luck. We've got decades.
Yeah.
We
of training. We've got
apologise.
generations
And also
of
you're
training.
welcome. Oh,
Yeah, and misery to be coping for.
yeah.
How else are you going to deal with this drizzle?
Yeah, alcoholism.
Drizzle of a weather.
But I come from
Alcoholism.
a drizzle state. Washington State is very much a drizzle state.
Not an alky state?
No,
That's our bad then.
no. I mean, if in America, if we were in the pubs and the bars as often as English people were,
Yeah.
we would be classed as alcoholics.
So does that mean we are classed as
Yeah,
alcoholics?
of course it does.
Yeah, get in.
I don't know, because the culture's different.
It's true.
Yeah, no, that doesn't change the definition, does
Yeah,
it?
but
we
pubs
think
aren't
it's
really
fine,
a thing
so
in
it's
America, are
fine.
they?
No.
You get Irish pubs, and then that's kind of
Yeah.
it knocks off after that, right?
But they're probably people from Boston.
Yeah,
who,
yeah,
like,
100%.
think they're Irish. And they're
Hey, I'm
not.
Irish. Can't you tell? Nice. Boston.
Yeah.
I would look. No, I don't want an American accent, but they are cool. I don't find yours jarring at all.
I've tamped it down. We already talked about
Jarring
this.
is a word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jarring sounds painful. I don't find your voice painful. It's such a weird thing to say. Your
No,
voice
I
doesn't
feel
hurt
like
me.
that matches.
I'm not in pain when you use words. Great,
I am sometimes with you.
great.
More because of the words you choose.
Oh,
Oh. Anyway, tell us about your journey.
Right. Back to the journey. And then my boyfriend got me. Actually, I lived just over there in that general direction, and
Good drive away.
it is a good 30-second drive away. And so we were obviously watching this place being built, and my boyfriend's a gym rat anyway. He used to go to, what is it, Titanium? Yeah, so he was at Titanium Gym. And then obviously watched this be built. And then we came for a tour when it was still kind of studs, wasn't it? It wasn't the
See-through
full
walls.
shebang that it is now. And Will gave the tour. And what I liked about Will was just that he was so knowledgeable about what was going where, because you helped build the place, didn't you? So that was,
Yeah.
and obviously you know your shit. But he was showing me where everything was going to be, explaining what it was going to do. And I was like, I like that because there's knowledge, which it's going to help me. Because, I mean, my journey with weight loss and getting fit goes all the way back to 10. I went on my first diet at 10. It was the cabbage soup diet, the worst.
what?
Yeah, worst diet in the world.
The what soup diet, sorry?
Cabbage soup diet.
Oh, I know the cabbage soup
Oh,
diet. Yeah.
it was awful.
You did this
Nightmares
at
about
10?
it now.
10.
How did you find out about this when you were 10?
My mom.
From your mum?
My mom.
What, she put you on the diet or?
She did it with me.
Okay.
But yeah.
Supportive.
I was okay, so I was shorter than I am now and probably like just as wide. And I was rocking like a really cute mustache. And like I just was a tomboy and just I wasn't a
At 10?
yeah.
I like the posture. like,
yeah.
Yeah.
so you just did that.
She was lat spreading all through the teams.
just showing width.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just a little chubby bunny, so I went on my first diet.
Okay.
And it was because a boy made me cry as well. He called me fat, so I was crying myself to sleep.
No.
Boys not cool.
And
case we
so
didn't
I was like, I want to lose weight, and my mom probably found this in the back of a magazine somewhere.
Okay.
and then went on it, and I lost 30 pounds in a month.
Right.
And I managed to keep that off for quite some time, probably until the time I was 18. And,
Wow. Okay.
yeah. So
Shout out cabbage soup.
Yeah. So I kept it off for a while.
Worked.
But it was also with the help of like Weight Watchers and stuff like that. So I was very conscious of everything that I was eating. And then when I turned 18 and I was still in high school, because that's how American schools work, we had what was called open campus. And so you could drive off campus for lunch. And I used to just eat out all the time. So I slowly started to gain the weight back. And since then, it's been really a yo-yo. I mean, I've done Cambridge, I've done Weight Watchers, Slimming World. I've stopped eating, and then which leads to binge eating. Anyway, so...
Went through a stint of like 500 a day, didn't you?
500 calories a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like Cambridge diet style.
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
was Cambridge,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah. And it was, to me, that was easy because I didn't have to think about what I was eating.
Yep.
I find having to actually think about and weigh what I'm eating.
You just forget about it, it's easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you're trying to chase that calorie number, aren't you, to make sure that you stay within there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been a journey. And then we kind of looped back here. And then when this place was complete, I got a voucher, one of those 3-month passes, not pass, personal training
Yeah, like package.
thing. And I was like, right, it's going to have to be with Will because Will knows what he knew what he was talking about when we first met.
That's my goal.
But when I first arranged to meet Will, I was on a night out and I was really, really drunk. And so he was messaging me and he's like, oh, should we meet at 10 o'clock at the gym? And I was so drunk that I was like, how about 9 o'clock? So I rock up the next morning, just like steaming still. And he's trying to talk to me about calories and what my goals are. And I'm just sitting there going,
I couldn't tell nothing.
Oh, it was, and I had to psych myself up to actually come to meet
That's
him.
a good
Yeah,
story.
good commitment.
I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, because I just kept thinking as I was getting dressed, and I was still drunk, but as I was getting dressed, I was like, maybe if I just throw myself down the stairs, I won't have to go.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I that's how much I didn't want to be in the gym.
Well, he is horrible. So I know that probably, yeah.
But you were genuinely afraid, weren't you?
I was terrified.
I think Kev even tried to arrange it once, twice for
Yeah.
you to come in, and you didn't.
I was like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was just terrified to walk in here and
Terrified of what, do you think? Like, now looking back on it.
probably, I mean, I didn't have anything to be terrified about, but probably the size of some of the people that come here, that can be quite intimidating.
What kind of size?
Yeah, you mean...
Muscle size.
Muscle
yeah.
size,
So you mean males or females or both? Or
both.
Okay.
Anybody who's like in really good shape, better shape than I was in walking in that first day, that can be really intimidating.
100%.
And I'm also really shy. I'm generally a really shy person, so I won't go up to people and I hang back, and so that's a confidence thing, I think, which has all changed since I met you.
Oh,
that's really
honey.
nice.
No.
But yeah, so we had our chat, and then we arranged for the following Monday, and I was like, oh, how can I get out of this one? But it was a Monday. I think it was the 30th of January, if I remember correctly. And we started at 1 a week, and then I would come 3 times by myself,
very good.
just on cardio, which I know you're not a fan of cardio. You got what, 6 more years till you
Till I've
start
got to start,
cardio?
yeah. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I would just come and do that 3 times a week by myself. And then we upped it to 2 sessions a week. And now we're on 3.
Yeah.
And here we are.
And you have like one accessory day.
Yep, where I come in on my own.
As we've kind of accumulated volume and lifted heavier and heavier and got to the point where rests need to be reasonable. Can't just fly through it anymore. We had to kind of shift some things onto a 4th day. But this is good for you because then you get to come in, and you like coming in now.
I do. I'm not intimidated. I come in, I do my stuff, I feel really good always after I work out.
Very good.
And yeah, it's good. It's good. It's been really good for my mental health as well, because my job can be quite stressful, and so I always tell people when I've got a session, I'm leaving at this time. I'm gonna go train, and if I need to come back and work afterwards, I will. But I'm not going to miss a session for work because it's been really good for my mental health and my physical health. And I just feel loads better.
Such a fair argument, yeah.
Very, very good, all this. This is great news. So, mind if I ask you a few questions about your goals and stuff like this then?
Go for it.
So you're doing 3 times a week strength training, bit more of an accessory day as well.
Yeah, it's strength hypertrophy, we kind of split the difference. Power building style, you would call it. With some specific things chucked in there.
Yeah, and what are you doing on your... And I know the training will be good because this man's sorting it, of course, so it could not be better. What are we doing in terms of nutrition then for your weight loss goal? Like you said, you've done this, you've done that, you've done all these other things. What are we actually doing this time?
You want to take it? Or me?
Bit both, tag team, go for it.
Go.
You start.
So obviously, calorie control for the most part. We're just keeping things low, and then we've got some kind of more macro related things that we're trying to hit. Protein is on the rise.
Okay, so this sounds good. So you're doing a food diary then?
Yep,
Yeah.
MyFitnessPal.
Yeah.
We're aiming for fibres, and I like for you to try and get 1 meal in a day, because I would say Arica kind of skips breakfast, but so naturally you've got a window that you're not fussed about eating, so you take advantage of that.
That's good, yeah. This is a good move.
You often can ride through to the early evening on like a energy drink and a coffee,
Nice.
which we've discussed limiting, but using. Yeah. And then,
well, just for information, it's not recommended for most people that you go above like 1,000 milligrams a day in caffeine. They're 200.
So your coffees in the past have been too much.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, coffee, it's not recommended to have maybe more than like, it depends on what type of coffee it is. Is it like instant coffee, just with like a teaspoon? Yeah, they're generally like 50 milligrams per one, per like teaspoon or something like that. So you could have quite a lot. I wouldn't ever recommend anybody gets up to 1,000 milligrams. I think that's too much, but that's like what's classed as like a general safety limit kind of thing. I think 500's a lot to me.
I do. I feel like that's where I'm more dysfunctional for having had coffee.
I went to, there's a coffee shop around the corner from my office, and I went in there once. I was having a very stressful day. I went in once and I had 8 of their coffees, but they put double shots of espresso in them.
Yeah, that's quite a lot.
And I was feeling it by the time
You
I
could
got
feel
home.
it, yeah. For me, I can't have I'm quite sensitive to caffeine seemingly. Like when I have those rains, they're 200 milligrams. That's quite a lot for me. I generally drink about half to 2/3 of it and then just throw it away or give it to somebody else if they want it. That's why I like I don't know how many's in this. That's why I like the white monsters, because they're only 150 milligrams, so they're less caffeine than them, which is good for me. That white monster one, 150 is not bad.
You're
especially
small
if
and
I drink
shredded,
it
you can't handle it.
slowly. I don't know, it can make me ill sometimes if I have too much caffeine.
And you're small.
Yeah. I don't feel good. Okay, so this is 30 milligrams per 100 mil, and it's 500 mil, which means it's 150 milligrams,
Chilling.
And is that all the caffeine you'll have today, or will you have more?
It depends. I try not to have it unless I'm really tired. I try and just use it as a tool, essentially. Last night I slept very poorly. Very poorly. So I thought I'll have one of these, why not? And the only reason I have these energy drinks really is because if I drink too much coffee, the dentist told me it'll stain the teeth. I thought,
Yeah, and you're all about the beauty.
Coffee and red wine stains your teeth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, tea as well, and kind
Might be
of.
having a bit
You've
of
got
both of them.
beautiful teeth, very, very lovely in wine.
Oh, thank you.
But that's really the only reason that I go for energy drinks sometimes rather than coffee. That's literally the only reason.
Yeah.
And we didn't get onto we've also got off track from what you're doing with your nutrition, but we didn't answer anything about whether the energy drinks are good or not. The short answer is energy drinks are fine.
Yeah. That was kind of my conclusion by the end.
Yeah, you could read the ingredients if you want to know about it. To anybody who's listening.
So my question was more about the ingredients
Like
and
what,
what your like trust of was it all kind of thing. And like,
very trusting.
Yeah.
All good. We have good food standard regulations. So
There's vitamins in here as well.
yeah.
sound.
Which is good.
I didn't see
Yeah, it
that
is good. Yeah, they do.
outside.
They put quite often B vitamins and stuff are quite
Yeah.
often in these. Yeah, that's good for your metabolism. It keeps your metabolism at a good rate.
And you're not
stuff like this.
spamming these. Like you probably had maybe 3 a day on a bad day.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
So this has got, when you look at the ingredients list, they go in order from most to least. So the first ingredient is the most, and the last ingredient has the smallest amount, like per molecular weight kind of thing. So first ingredient in this is, you've got a different drink in front of you, but water is the first one, carbonated water. Then it's citric acid, that's a natural acid, that's in fruit and stuff. Taurine, that's nothing. Flavorings, it says, which could kind of be anything. It's non-specified. Then it's got sodium citrates and potassium phosphates. This is neutral. Potassium sorbate. So these are just like electrolytes and different minerals, basically. caffeine, sweeteners, and people are like, oh, sweeteners. But all the sweeteners you can buy,
That's what I was
all
wondering
the
about.
sweeteners you can buy in the UK are safe for human consumption. We have good,
That's good.
yeah, we have good food standard regulations. There have been some sweeteners in the past where they weren't good, but they've all been banned. Like this is sucralose. This is generally regarded as an inert chemical.
Yes.
Like all the sucralose that goes into somebody, if you measure their sweat and poo and wee and everything that comes out of them, the exact milligrams of sucralose that went in comes out.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it goes in, tastes sweet, doesn't seem to do much.
That's
and
really
then
interesting.
comes out, which is
Okay.
nice. There's also stevia, which is a natural sweetener. This also seems to put your blood pressure down. There's one called allulose, which is a new one that's from plants, which is nice and has seemingly very little effects. Then this has got carrot, vitamins, inositol, which is good for hormone profiles actually, and then a tiny bit of sugar. It's like, what's bad?
I love when you use big words. We did say it, didn't we? All the words.
All the words.
Little box up here.
Rebecca yesterday told me to use smaller words. And I said, don't try and clip my intellectual wings. I don't know what she literally told me
hold
to
me down,
use
woman.
smaller words. I was like, what?
Smaller's just not even the right way to say that. I'm sorry, Rebecca.
Simpler.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah, because
Just
the
smaller.
amount of letters in the words not necessarily relating to its complexity.
No, not one bit.
Oh my God. Anyway.
Although I guess to some extent, that's funny though. Rebecca's our next guest. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Get her nice and woke up on camera.
There's a famous quote, the limit of my words is the limit of my world.
Yeah.
Is a
I like that
a
quote.
famous
That's a
quote.
good quote.
But anyway, we got off track with what's going on with your nutrition. So you're doing a food diary.
Yes.
You said you don't like weighing things out, but are you weighing some stuff out sometimes?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Only because we need to do portion control and checking, don't we? Mm-hmm. Like if you put an item into the app, but then you don't actually know how much of that item you actually
And you just
consumed.
guess. Yeah.
There's no point
You
doing
do
it.
all right because a lot of the stuff you get is like ready.
Yeah. And
That's
you
good.
just put it in the oven.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. So it's got the
perfect.
calories written on it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Other items, I wouldn't ever recommend anybody weighs everything every time because that's like very boring. But
Especially because of the things that you might often be weighing, like it's usually more like vegetables and things. And
Yeah, you don't-
if you're getting meat,
it's not
it's on the
important.
packet, and then you know,
yeah,
Yeah.
rice is easy to measure, but
yeah, that's
so-
often in like microwavable packs or
Yeah.
something, or you use like a cup measurement, like a little scoop measurement or something. I agree. Green vegetables and other vegetables like this, I don't really care if I call it
Exactly, like
gravies.
the amount
This
that
is
they're
so
going to
healthy and
fluctuate.
low calories.
I don't
it's
really give a
like,
shit.
Yeah, fuck it. This doesn't matter.
Do you recommend taking the raw weight or the
Oh, this is
cooked
a good
weight?
question. Yeah. It's generally recommended you should do the raw weight most of the time.
Okay.
Because imagine your food diary. What the best way to think about it is as if it's a recipe in a cookbook. So if you opened a cookbook and it had a recipe and you were like, right, what we're going to do to make this meal, it'd have in the top left corner a list of all the ingredients with the weight.
Yep.
Uncooked, raw ingredients that you
Right.
start with, and then you use that to make the meal. That's what the food diary is. Basically, you're trying to create a recipe in a cookbook to show Will what you've eaten. That's how you should think about it.
Okay.
So it should look like what it's in a cookbook. There are some exceptions to that, of course. If you have to weigh some stuff cooked, then just put the cooked weight in. Like if you've got already cooked chicken,
Yeah.
say you buy a roasted chicken from the supermarket, it's already roasted.
Yeah.
Then just go on Google and just Google 100 grams cooked chicken nutrition. It'll just tell you.
Yeah.
Put that in.
Perfect.
It's fine.
Okay.
Really, it's not a big deal, and I wouldn't worry about it. The other reason it's good to do the raw weight as well is if you do cooked weights of things. If you cook things together, like you make a chili or a spaghetti or a pie, you can't get the ingredients back out to tell how much you've had. So you're screwed. You know, if you say, "Oh, I'm going to weigh all my stuff cooked," are you? Because then how are you going to separate the stew to figure what are we going to do?
You're going to make a stew, deconstruct
Yeah, deconstruct it,
Weigh
weigh it,
everything,
and then put it back together. Now it's cold, and what are you doing?
Yeah, yeah.
No, this makes no
It's
sense.
stupid.
So generally, do things raw unless it's a cooked item. Then just enter the cooked item.
Okay.
But really, when you cook things, the only thing that changes much anyway is water. So it's like, it's not really to worry too much.
Okay.
And I would say it's fine not to weigh things or to weigh many things as long as your weight's going down.
Yeah.
That's what I.
Well, that's why what you kind of talk about, isn't it? Is calories is a very handy way to measure things because it's just the science behind it. But then any other version of just knowing what you're eating, being cognizant, writing it down,
Mindful eating in general,
Basically.
encompassing.
and just a good kind of constant awareness to what's going on. then you'd apply that kind of 3-week rule we've been talking about, see what happens.
Yeah.
Because I always say as well, like often people want to lose weight like now.
Yep.
But yeah.
Which is why I've been on all those
Exactly.
diets. I want to lose
Extreme.
weight
But
now.
I obviously
Yeah,
always try and make a point of making sure they know that it's a lifestyle change you're making now so that you don't yo-yo.
Yep.
And so it becomes life. So don't worry about the speed of it. I know you want it now. I know that's going to be nice. But you've got literally the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So just start eating mindfully, record it with one metric or another.
Yeah.
See what happens to you. So you're measuring the input, if you as in what you're putting into. If you measure the output, as in, for example, step count throughout the day, a very basic cookie cooker way of just like, okay, this is how much I move. And then if you measure the outcome to that little case study, 3 weeks later, you've got a bit of a test subject there. See what happens. Am I happy with the amount that I've put in versus the amount I've got out? Do I want to change it? Can I afford to move more or eat less? Answer all those questions honestly, adapt, and then see what happens after that.
Yep, I completely agree with this. I like what you said there. I have a little moniker for that as well that I try and get people to think about, and it's fast is fun, but slow is sustainable.
Yeah.
So which do you want? You want both, ideally. So I encourage people to go fast sometimes on the weight loss and go slow at other times. Like if somebody comes to me, it's delicate for us, isn't it? Because if somebody wants to try really hard and get a fast result, I don't want to hold them back. I don't want to be like, no, eat more and train less than you actually want.
That is tricky, you're right?
Yeah, you don't want to hold them back. And it is proven that the faster somebody gets a result and the more the weight comes off, the more probability they've got of continuing because they're getting the result that they want and feeling motivated by the result. So we do want the weight to come off, and we do want it to come off now, and we do want it to come off at a good rate, but we also don't want to extreme diet and then yo-yo back and forth and screw it up and create eating problems and nutrition problems and sometimes even mental health problems and stress problems and all kinds of problems. We're trying to do it for positivity, aren't you? You're trying to diet to feel better.
That's one of the things I think I first said to you.
Yeah.
Like, don't remove any of the socializing kind of side of it. Make sure that your life still goes on, basically, because you're not doing it for a period of time so that, oh, okay, now I'm done. This isn't a thing. You're just changing your approach to things so that you can manage being happy, indulging, and then being disciplined as well. Sometimes.
It's all about balance, isn't it? Because we indulge.
Yeah.
Don't we? In a variety of different things. We eat all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, buddy.
Restaurants, sometimes healthy food, yeah.
I had a Domino's on Sunday.
Did you? Have you seen the
love a
building of
Domino's.
Domino's at the top of the street?
Are they? That's dangerous.
That is dangerous.
Literally, you know where those shops are at the top there? Where Jack's
Stay
sandwich
away.
shop is. They're
Stay
putting a
away.
Domino's up there, yeah.
What's your order?
Domino's?
Yeah.
Sunday I had the mighty meaty. I quite like the Texas barbecue.
Ooh, a barbecue base on a
I
pizza.
need.
You don't
yeah,
like that?
sometimes that's a good.
I don't like that.
It's-
Fuck
I
no.
like just
No,
chicken,
it's disgusting.
chicken and
No, don't
sweet
do this. It's
corn's
not
a
real,
good
is it?
time.
No,
No.
it's not pizza.
I
Chicken
agree.
and sweet corn's a good time.
Chicken and sweet. No.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
I also agree no to chicken and sweet corn. Stop this.
No. Yeah.
To me, listen though, I'm so boring that it's pepperoni or we're not doing it. I can have
I can get on board with that.
I can have
though.
pepperoni plus. I can have pepperoni plus other things, but to
Yes.
me, pizza's got 4 ingredients, not 3. We're not talking tomato, cheese, and base. We're
No,
also-
that's not.
I need those little peps.
Fuck off.
I need my little spicy
A
pep.
little pep.
You know,
A little pepper.
pep on the go.
I just need that to be
Meat.
meat. Yeah, I'm just.
Because we've talked about this, where you eat to fuel your body.
Yeah.
Because you have to. And I eat because I love to eat, and like to the point where I'll just do a little dance if the food's really good.
Yeah. Like every now and then I'll be like, fuck it, I want this.
Yeah.
But it's 20% of the time. Like 80% of the time it's just I need to put food in me. And that's why I find out I don't have a snack, because I don't like eating. I find it tedious.
That is-
Like me walking
I
around
find it-
eating that
I
bar.
find it tedious.
Just to eat.
Will,
Well done for staying alive.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
lost all relation with all listeners. They're all thinking, who the fuck's this?
And I'm the fatter one out of the two of us.
Yeah, I try really hard to be lean. I'm not like one of these people that's
Yeah,
like
you're
naturally-
diced. Can we take a moment to appreciate it? I wonder if the camera can see.
Can we?
Yeah,
I
buddy.
don't know what you're talking about. But I put in a lot of effort. I'm not like I love eating like you, and I love particularly sweet
Yeah.
foods and dessert foods and indulgent foods. I love all this too. I just try really hard, essentially, all the time.
Yeah.
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 And, I say this to my
You've been
clients.
consistently lean for fucking
I know. I say this to my clients sometimes, and they say it's like some people think, or they say even sometimes, it's all right for you because you're already lean. And I
So
say,
like, do you know how much
you've
harder this is?
You've known me 7 years. You've seen me always looking the same. That means I manage my calories appropriately. All the time.
Yeah. And it's super hard. It's super hard to tell clients, but it's so much harder to maintain and stay at this than it is to say at 30% or something.
Oh yeah, it is.
Like
That's
losing
definitely true.
30% body fat down to 25.
Way easier.
Yeah, you don't want to say it way easier than going from
15 to 10 or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, the lower it gets, the harder it gets. Definitely.
Which makes perfect
Your
sense.
metabolism gets slower. You feel.
You can't tell a client that.
Yeah, of course you can.
Just be like, listen, this is hard, you know. So.
No. You have to do it in a positive, educational way for their benefit. Will it's not like let's you know how hard it has been me, bro. You know how tough I am, bro. It's not like that.
Shredded it.
But you can use it in a way to build confidence in people, to tell them that the start of the journey is going to be easier.
Yeah, true.
When we're going from 30 to 20% or something.
That's a good way of looking at it. I guess I always think that
Not bad.
it might diminish their kind of like sense of achievement if you make it feel like it's easy to start with.
I guess it's individual.
I haven't thought
It's
about it
not
like
easy
that.
to start with. Do you
No, it's
remember
just
our first...
easier.
That's kind of what I'm saying, floating between the two. Like, yes, definitely good for them to know that, but
It's difficult in all situations.
maybe discouraging
isn't
to know that, like, oh god, this is the easy
it? I
part.
know. Everything's
What
a
do you
balance,
think?
isn't it?
No, it wasn't the easy part at the beginning.
Okay.
I couldn't walk after our first session for a week.
Oh, okay, yeah. Training wise, yeah.
I could not walk. It was
So that's another
awful.
question. Because your strength training is going phenomenally, and
you.
just general bodybuilding stuff. Arica's annoyingly good at things.
Annoyingly good.
Like I've just found an exercise that I need to like actually coach her on, but I could go.
Everything else just goes well.
Like I just walk around and I'm like, yeah, nailed it.
works.
I guess I'll shut up. There's nothing to coach.
But that means you're a good coach.
Thank you.
That means you're a good coach.
And an excellent client and an excellent like learner, I would say. But yeah, what's your relationship been like with getting strong and starting with the actual gym side of stuff?
I've really enjoyed it. I can remember when we first started benching, and it was just going up. I think I started 30. No.
The first session you did, it was
no.
like 22.
Yeah, and we're up to 42 and a half.
Yeah, we hit
right
42
now.
kilos
bench?
single on bench today. Yeah.
Yes.
That is very strong.
And-
you're definitely more than double the strength of an average woman now. Definitely
that.
more than twice as strong as an average lady now.
100%.
I'll take
Already.
that.
In how long?
Since end of January.
Yeah,
So what, 6
6 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
call it.
Good.
6 months, and then also bench, or not bench. We just talked about bench, leg press.
Yeah, you like your leg press,
I
don't
love
you?
the leg
Like a
press.
bit of leg press doing.
Yes.
One of the 45 is what we're using.
No, 35, aren't we?
Oh, sorry, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
35.
I've never used that one.
Oh, it's
nice.
amazing.
Is it?
It is a nice leg press, yeah.
It is really good because we started on
40?
maybe
50?
30, maybe
Okay.
30, and we're on 80 now.
Yeah.
So more than double.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah, everything's been going up so perfectly. The hip thrusts, we're going to have to change at some point because we're using the machine
Yeah.
with, we had 30 kilos on
That's a lot,
last
yeah.
week. On there, I've tested it. I feel like it feels more like somewhere between 80 and 100 maybe in like actual weight, if it was a normal hip thrust, you know?
Okay.
I'd be interested to see what you think.
Yeah, I definitely have used 30.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what you mean, like in which way it feels
Yeah,
like. I
yeah.
know that 30 is heavy on that machine for sure.
Yeah, and
I
so
still
we...
need to show you my technique on that. For,
Yeah, you
for,
do.
for racking it all
Yeah.
the way to the bottom and getting full range.
Yeah, you can
And
show
just
me
see
that
what you
after.
think to it, because I'm doing it non-conventional ways. Like I haven't even got my heels
No,
on
you
the
got
machine
your
and
toes
stuff. Yeah.
on your haunches.
I'm on kind of like the centre of the
A little demon of glute
what's,
gains.
what's the definition of a haunch? I would love to know.
The way you do push-ups, motherfucker.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are they haunchy?
Do you know how this guy does
I was just going to ask, how do you do push-ups?
That's how it
in a
makes you-
very weird way?
That's how it makes you feel, isn't
I'm
it?
not a fan. What's happening here?
I'm googling what the haunch is.
The haunch is like the
Isn't it the arch thing
of
at
the
your
paw.
feet?
It's more related to like hooved animals and
Well, yeah,
dogs. and-
so, but
Okay.
they have feet.
I thought you said your feet.
Not my feet.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so we've got 3 definitions of a haunch. Number 1 is a buttock and a thigh considered together in a human or animal. So it's a thigh-buttock tie-in. Number 2, what you said, the leg and loin of an animal, especially a deer, are
Yeah.
often as food. So you can have a haunch of venison.
Oh, good.
Oh, I love venison.
Or if you're haunchy.
I love a haunch.
Or it's in architecture, the side of an arch between the crown.
No,
and the-
hooves.
Whatever that is.
So how do you do push-ups?
Like this.
How disgusting is that?
But why?
Do you know what though? It
Pushing
doesn't
through
even
that.
look that unnormal.
It's not,
But I
it's
went to
fine.
try and do it, and if I keep my pads on
Wait, look, I'll just...
on here, this is the highest I can get my hand. I don't know about you.
You're
I have really flexible fingers. for some
Yeah,
reason.
you might be
I can do
similar.
it
Oh,
normal.
you can do it!
I can do it
Am
normal
I
this
the
way.
weird one?
Yeah, look.
Look at this.
What I'm doing is I'm pushing. I'm keeping the wrist straight and pushing in a direct line from there, straight through that point. There and there. Look, I don't even need the little fingers.
Oh,
Or really these. I'm pushing kind of like that, and these are just like
Haunches.
supporting like this.
does that work different muscles when you have your fingers like
It's
that?
very stable. 'Cause I'm pushing there. I've got
I'll have your little argument for it. All right, bro, you've struck gold. Quit digging.
People think I made a video about it on Instagram.
I can't even really do mine with my hands flat like this. I do mine with my fists because if I do like
fists is
this,
not bad.
when I lock out, it's just there's too much tension everywhere.
You do push-ups on your fists?
Yeah, I just go knuckles.
Yeah, that's quite relatively normal ways.
I like it. It gives me extra range of motion. I can go quite narrow with it
On
because I'm not
dumbbells is a really
limited.
nice way to do that, isn't it? Hold the dumbbells because then you don't blast your fingers
Yeah,
into the
yeah.
floor and you get more range.
I tend to find that comfy. I don't know if it's because of my rings, but you know, like if you go narrow with your hands normal like this, at least for me, I feel like it often promotes more of like a rounded shoulder because you don't have the ability to keep that down that way often when you get to the bottom. Yeah.
Don't generalise us all into your category. Talk to me about my flipping press up posture.
You're just double jointed, man. This is
No,
some
I'm not.
weirdness. That shouldn't happen.
It's normal. It's normal.
I feel like that's definitely, but I feel like we knew you were a bit double jointed.
I'm not double jointed.
It's just flexibility.
I guess that's
fingers.
easier with one finger.
I do have above average finger flexibility, and I think it's from cracking my fingers for 1,000 years.
I've
Because
cracked-
I always do
I'm
this.
a cracker too.
Yeah, I've always done this and cracked my fingers and done this for like so many years. So I'm used to bending them back that way.
There's often a good couple in the neck.
Oh, you do it in your neck, and that just freaks me out.
I'm the back cracker around the station gym as well. If you need a back crack, come for an appointment.
Get a
Step
little
into my office.
squeeze from Will.
Yeah. I managed to crack Phil's back.
Ooh.
Did you?
I got reaching around, this was the grip that I had. It was
Oh, yeah,
literally
yeah.
that, because he's so huge.
S grip, that's called in grappling. It's a good,
Nice.
it's a good strong grip.
I'm doing some grappling tomorrow.
Are you?
With Kyle, a friend.
Who's
here.
Kyle?
Comes here. He's taught
Where are you doing this?
BJJ, just in outside
He's taught it.
for like 20, well, on and off for like 20 years.
Has he?
Yeah, he's cool.
I need to do this.
What's grappling?
Like the groundwork in in
Wrestling.
MMA. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So
Yes,
no
right,
striking.
okay.
Yeah, just locks and positional stuff and flinging people around.
It's like a general term for like encompassing judo, Olympic wrestling, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, sometimes catch wrestling, things like this.
Yeah.
Just wrestling in general. Rough and tumble with the
Rough
boys.
and
Ah, hilarious.
Little rough and tumble with the boys. Yes.
I want to know more about your strength stuff.
I do, but we also need to finish.
True.
Very soon we need to finish. We've been on 46 minutes
Ooh.
on the recording.
Well, okay. Tell me what your favorite exercise is and what your favorite thing is about, not like about the gym specifically, but about everything you've kind of learned or that's happened to you since you've started.
My favorite exercise could change,
Yeah.
but I would say I've got two actually. Can I have two? Mm-hmm. Okay. Leg press, because I'm really enjoying getting stronger on leg press. But also split squats.
Yes.
I love and hate those things in equal measure.
That's the correct
Wow.
But
emotions
they-
to have towards split squats.
They work.
Oh, it's so effective. That's why
Yes.
it's so hard.
Yes. And so, yeah.
Look,
The obstacle is the way, people.
Yes.
He's living it.
It is really, really hard, those.
Yeah.
But it gets the results.
Gets the job done.
Yeah.
Definitely
And
is.
I know what you mean as well, because I love the motion of a split squat. I love how like strong and stable I feel on it, but I fucking hate doing them because it's not 3 sets, it's 6,
Yeah.
and it's not 10 reps, it's cardio,
Yeah.
and it's just so systemically disgusting.
It is very difficult. Like
Yeah.
the overall performance.
My
is
max
hard.
ever has been 238s for 8,
Oh.
and then when you're just picking up that, it's
That's
like
more than
I don't
me.
even want to just lift these. You know what I mean?
Mine's like 226s for 12, and it felt like I was getting dragged into hell on the
So
way down. I
that's
wasn't
kind of
gonna
why I hate
return.
them as well, because I can do them with
Trying to claw
30s
back from
for
Dante's
10. It's
Inferno.
like, it just hurts.
It was a bad time.
I'm at 210s, aren't I?
Yeah,
That's
you're doing
very
well.
strong.
By mistake.
Yeah.
Mistake. That was a mistake.
That's
'Cause
very
world
strong.
Best PT.
That's very strong. I do find though it doesn't have massive sensitivity of loading though, like a split squat. Like some exercises,
What do you mean?
I just mean like on some exercises, probably because it uses loads of muscles. If you go up in a bit of weight, like on a lateral raise, it's really hard to go from like 10 to 12s. On a split squat, like you said, you accidentally did 10s. If you go from 8 to 10, find it's not that sensitive to like load changes. Probably because it's
No, not
distributed
so
through
much.
quite a lot of the body, and there's a lot of
It's
muscles
much bigger,
involved.
isn't it? Yeah.
You can progress up quite nicely in a
Yeah,
split
well, I
squat
get lat
in weight.
raises. My max has been 16 for 10, and
Sure.
now it's probably
With
like
questionable technique.
no good technique, but
Let's be
maybe
honest.
quite a bit of trap
Let's
as
be
well.
honest.
No swinging, but definitely a good bit of trap and not just side delt.
Bent
But
arms though. You're at 90,
not
aren't you?
here.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest, you're holding him still and then rotating your elbows, aren't you?
Who's strong?
That's like that video on the
Let's
app.
be honest.
That's like that video
Oh,
on the
don't
app.
about the video on the app. That's horrible.
It's awful.
But I was saying it to make the point that that's my max on there, whereas if you 38's on split squats, the ceiling for progressive overload is just way higher. I've seen people, there's a German cyclist who does barbell back split squats with 160.
Yep.
Disgusting.
Bro, there's a lady, Brittany, who works for Macros Inc. She does split squats with 100 kg on a barbell.
Yeah.
Posts videos on Instagram. She's 5'0". She's literally a powerlifter. She can bench more than 100 kg.
Is she a powerlifter?
Yeah,
She better be.
yeah.
That's
She's
nuts.
ridiculously strong. She did 100 on split squats. Posted
that's
on
awesome.
Instagram. I was like, that is disgusting.
That's about the perfect makeup for a powerlifter, a female powerlifter. 5 foot, you can afford to like not be the most shredded for your weight class because you're tiny. You've probably got good levers, strong, throwing some good genetics for strength in there. Good time.
I'll show you. Any concluding statements then?
I do want to finish that last one as well. What your favourite thing that you've learned? Be it about the gym, yourself, your evolution over the last 6 months.
My evolution. It's like
Yeah.
I'm reborn like a phoenix. Like it.
I'd say so.
I think seeing my body change has
Nice.
been the greatest measure for me. I think I've been really hesitant about getting on the scale, and we've only just got to that. Measurements, although we've kind of restarted our measurements. So just how my body is shaping out and how I feel. I feel so much better. I just, up here physically, I just feel better.
Good.
And it's because of the gym and Will
And yourself.
and myself.
Mostly yourself.
Mostly yourself.
Mostly you.
I can only tell
Provided
you what
by, guided by,
Yes.
actioned by. Isn't it really? Creator of the path, shower of the path, walker of the path.
Love this.
I just pass information. I didn't figure any of this out on my own. We're just vessels of knowledge from
But
one to the
it's
next.
important for you to know that it's your effort and you did it, even if it doesn't feel so much like it now.
Yeah.
It's actually you doing the whole thing. I would just say on your weight loss, my most condensed advice would be keep training, eat healthy. If the weight stops going down, tighten the calories.
Yep.
If you just remember those 3 things, you'll just achieve all your goals. Just keep training, just forever, until death. From now until death, keep training. Eat
I don't know
healthy.
if you knew that, but this is it.
This
now.
is
This is
a
the real
lifelong
deal.
commitment.
Yep.
This is the real deal. Eat healthy as well. Just try and eat healthy in general. Just have a balance towards healthy stuff. And if your weight's not going down, it's the calories. Tighten them.
Perfect. I can remember that.
In a nutshell.
Everything will get fixed.
Mate.
Boom. Boom.
Boom.
Boom.
Concluding statements. or
Pleasure.
anything
Lots
else
of
from
love
you?
and thank you for coming
Yeah,
on.
you should come back on again. I feel like we've got
More to talk
We
about.
could have done hours more. We've got a second episode now. That's the only reason
Get out.
that we have to.
Basically,
Yeah.
you're out of here.
Go home.
Your chair's
Yeah.
needed.
Throw you home from here. Goodness
But
gracious.
would you like to come on again?
I would love that.
Yes, thank you. There's loads more we could go through, isn't there? There's
Definitely.
I'm glad you two have been introduced. That's nice for me now.
Yeah, really nice.
Two people
But
in my
always,
life.
Always glad to help as well. So thank
Perfect.
you. Thank you very
Boom.
much.
Thank you for listening,
Thank
people at
you.
home. We appreciate it. Pip, pip.